Hey there. Today we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the very ugly about social media, grief, and child loss. Now, if you are finding this video, I think you're probably aware that there are some really great things about social media. There are some not so great things about social media. Now, I am not here to say that social media or any particular platform is good or bad, or that you should or shouldn't do anything. Really, if you're watching this video, I just want you to be aware of how social media makes you feel. It's just about awareness. As a grieving mother, we are already feeling so sad and depressed. So, if we're finding that certain social media platforms or certain people or certain groups are making us feel better, that's a great thing. Be aware. Tune into those things more. But if you're finding that you're aware that certain groups or people or platforms are making you feel worse, that's a good thing to be aware of too, so that you can spend less time in those spaces. So let's just go over some of the really good things about social media and grief. Well, you've probably discovered it's a great way to connect with other people who are going through the same thing. It can be a great way to post photos and share about your child, because we don't always get to do that in our own circles. It's a great way to avoid, right? If you're scrolling on social media, it can just be kind of mind numbing. And sometimes we need that escape. But the not so good things, just to be aware of, is the freedom of speech and the bullying that takes place on social media. Now, perhaps you were following me a couple of years ago when I had a private Facebook group for moms. It was not associated with any of the programs that I run. It was just a free private Facebook group. And it grew and grew and grew and grew until it grew so big that no one felt any responsibility for the words that they put into that space. And unfortunately, there were some really, really hurtful things said in that space. I was bullied. Other moms were bullied. We're all grieving moms. And this kind of nonsense was going on. So I had to shut the group down. But this is the problem with social media. People feel very brave behind their device. There's a level of anonymity. Sometimes people will actually create false accounts so that they can bully, so that they can say things to people. It's just not right. In addition to that, I think people are on the defense. If somebody's having a great day and they're posting something uplifting, then the person who's having a not so good day might lash out. It also made me second guess myself about my own grief journey. If I was having a crappy day and I saw that somebody was having a great day, it made me question if I was doing grief the wrong way. And last but not least, I think we're all aware of this, is the algorithms on social media. Sometimes it's a bit creepy. You might have had a discussion with your husband 5 minutes ago about needing a new winter jacket, and all of a sudden, your feed is full of winter jackets. But honestly, I think that is more linked to what we're searching. So if I'm searching new yoga pants, I'm probably going to see lots of yoga pants in my feed or related things to yoga pants. So, how does that relate to grief? Well, the more you go looking or searching for something on social media, the more your feed is going to be full of it. So, if you are trying to join every grief group on Facebook, you're going to see a ton of grief related stuff. And everybody in those grief groups, you're going to see the posts. And while it's not a bad thing to search out grief support, it's a good thing. But the more you search it out, the more it'll be right in front of your face. Now, the problem that I run into, and maybe you do too, I belong to a lot of grief groups. I speak in a lot of groups. I share my book. It's just a part of the work I do. But then my feeds become just constant grief posts. That's really hard to take after a while. So here are some tips for you. Like I said, I'm not here to say whether social media is good for you or bad for you, but merely to check in with yourself. When I'm in that group or listening to that person, how does it make me feel? Is it beneficial? Is it uplifting? Is it what I need? Or do I just feel worse? Because if that's your answer, delete and move on. Here's something I learned a while back. We can unfollow groups. We can unfollow people. And those people will never know. We're still friends, but it means that I don't see their stuff anymore. Here's another tip. If you have any interests at all, whether it's knitting, cooking, wine, or you just love those puppy and kitty videos like I do, go and like them. Like them, follow those groups. Get those kinds of things coming into your feed also, just so you get a balance. Because sometimes when I'm just taking a break after supper, scrolling through social media, I feel myself getting pulled into that, what I call the swirling black vortex of grief. And I don't need that, and neither do you. So do try to find some things that are going to be uplifting. Just because you're grieving does not mean you need to live in that dark space 24/7. And just be aware. Just be aware of how things make you feel. So, just to share a little bit more, I think a lot of you know that I lost a teenage daughter, Katie. And there's some particular days that I find harder than others, aside from her birthday, aside from her anniversary, aside from Christmas. But Katie never got to graduate high school. So when those grade 12 photos come out in June, or university back to school stuff, or even National Daughters Day, I find it really, really hard. Now, I will say that I think every parent on this planet deserves and should share about their children. They absolutely should, and I don't want to take that away from them. My struggles with it are not their problems. So, on those days, those times of the year, I choose not to pick my phone up as often. And when I do see those kinds of photos, I just keep scrolling past. I don't dwell. I don't try my best not to feel bitter or jealous. Those feelings are there, but the more I dwell on them, the worse that they are. So you're just going to have to be aware. So that's all I have to say. If you have any comments on this, of course, I always love to hear them. If you like this video and want to have more videos like this, or have me make a video on a particular topic, send me a message. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel so that you're always in the know and always know when I'm dropping more videos. All right, take care. Until next time.